Thanks for tuning in to the Loser Kid Pinball Podcast. I am Josh Roop. With me, my co-captain,
Scott Larson.
And it's another beautiful day. Thanksgiving is upon us. I actually had my first Thanksgiving meal of 3. It started today, so I'm already stuffed with turkey, and I'm ready for more turkey the rest of the week.
You look like you're about 18 weeks pregnant, so
well,
maybe you'll be full term by the end of the third meal.
Well, I've been doing calorie counting, and the funny part is like I did all my calories after I ate for Thanksgiving meal today. I'm like, well, I ate everything at lunch today. All 2,600 calories. I was a champ. So,
well, I sent you the fries that I had that were fried in beef tallow for dinner. Yep. That's what I had. So,
well, and then when I'm hungry, I just drink Frescas because they're 0 calories. I'm like, well, this is what I get for the rest of the day. So, or 0 Mountain Dew, man. But the caffeine's too late. It's 9 o'clock here. We're recording late. So, you know what? I want to talk about our favorite people in the world. Zach and Nicole Many support us here at Loser Kid Pinball Podcast. They've got some amazing product and even better customer service. Scott, you just recently bought from them. What did you get?
Well, actually, I just ordered a Jaws 50. It's for my friend who's moving, and he's moving in, and I said, hey, they have a spot for the Jaws 50. This is the last run. So he's like, hook me up. So
well, and they just talked about their unveiling. Both of us have already used it, but they're unveiling a new shipping thing that they're doing. I used Foo Fighters. I shipped it back to Zach. Yeah. So the way it works is they ship you this giant pod with like all the shipping blankets, all the everything you'll need, the tape, everything. And you essentially take your new game out. So I took out King Kong, and then I opened up King Kong, put it in place, and then I folded up Foo Fighters and put it back in, put the packing blankets around it. It's literally just a big wooden box. The door opens up, the sides come off, you put the sides back on, you slap the door back on. I found it was amazing. How about you, Scott?
I thought it was great. I ultimately never decided to use one of my games, and so I shipped it back, and I used that credit toward buying my Merlin edition of Medieval Madness. So it's super easy. My biggest hang up, I'm a pin hoarder because I hate selling. So it was just a good deal. Just being able to ship it out, let him deal with all that stuff. And if you want a low hassle way of doing it, it's a good way of trading up for a game. So again, Zach and Nicole Many flipping out pinball. All right, Josh.
Awesome.
What do we got on store for them tonight?
So let's talk about, there has been 2 releases since we last spoke. I guess the last episode you and I have done together was Expo, wasn't it? Back in August.
Ooh. Yeah. Because
we did
recap.
A Winchester, and we did Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
So, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
And since then we had Walking Dead revealed by John Borg, the remake. And we've had obviously
partially. We still don't know everything about that, so we're going to talk about that, but we still don't know all of the details.
Yes, there's a lot of mystery surrounding it. Granted, I haven't went to the website and downloaded the PDF fact sheet and went through that because put it on a video so I can watch it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about Walking Dead first. That came out first. That came out 3 weeks ago. First impressions. I did a first impressions video here on the channel. I have warmed up to it. I will say that I'm not a fan of the art, but there was a clip that Kerry Hardy had put on his Facebook where they took out the blues and the greens, and it was solely just reds and oranges, and then that black and gray. And I felt like that looked really, really good. Okay, that's the art. What do you do? Get it out of the way. We've all heard it.
Okay, I'm going to jump in on this though too. Okay, the art was polarizing. However, Josh, do you remember the games that I sent you right when it was released? Okay. I sent you Halloween. I sent you The Evil Dead.
Yep.
I sent you, what I can't remember what the other one was. And I looked at him like,
it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And I said, these are vibrant color palettes.
Yes.
And Beetlejuice too. I sent Beetlejuice too. And I said, these are not subtle color palettes. And we were fine with that art. I will also remind people that who has the ultimate responsibility to approve the art package?
The licensor.
The licensor. And who did this art package?
The licensor.
Okay. So if there's anything that you don't prefer about it, that's okay. I'm not saying you have to like everything, but you have to realize that Stern is playing in a world where they are working with a licensor.
Yeah.
And this is the direction the licensor wanted to go. And so I have looked at the art package, and I think it's fine. I like it. I think there could be different things, but there's a reason why we need to understand that there are limitations on what they can present, because this is what the licensor wants. And so I will say, from the art, I'll just appreciate that Stern may have had some direction from the people who own the license. And so just leave it at that, because everybody said, why don't we do a black and white? It's like, okay, but you want to stand out too.
But what the thing with me though is like I actually do enjoy some of the art. Like I feel like it's that kind of photorealistic. It's not like Franchi photorealistic, but it's still going down that avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And all those games you mentioned, so like Beetlejuice and Evil Dead, I feel like their color palettes matched the tone or the actual colors from the movies. So like I just don't feel like The Walking Dead matches the tone or the vibes of the TV series, because obviously they've went the TV route, right?
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, the art looks really good in terms of like actual drawing and artistic design. The color palette just isn't for me. And I do find it funny, like someone did point out, like the same zombie is drawn on like the left part of the apron, the right part of the apron, and like smack dab between the flippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get why someone did that. I don't know. I don't know why it wasn't caught in quality control, yada yada. I
Okay.
don't
Do
know.
you remember Wonka?
Yeah, that's why I'm like Wonka
Okay.
dialed in. I mean,
Okay.
there was, yeah,
But again, who made that decision?
it's a licensor
It was
thing.
the licensor. And so, yeah, okay, you can look at that and say, wow, okay, there's a reason why with Metallica was such a successful game, especially the
Yeah.
Dirty Donnie art package, because they basically said, do whatever you want. And by the way, the new one with it's Joseph, who is it? Joseph Reese? Am I get that right?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. We'll correct that. But the new art package, they basically had the freedom to do what they wanted. And so when you have a licensor that allows that, great. And if you look at it, even historically, The Walking Dead, there were limitations on The Walking Dead where it was almost like a zombie. It was like a zombie game that had the Walking Dead logo on it. Remember that?
Yeah. No.
And so
Yeah. The original art was rough.
yeah, the original. And so I'm going to allow for the understanding that the licensor may have a direction for their license, and I'm just going to let it go.
I agree, and that's why I'm like the sound, like the art itself is subjective, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? It did make me chuckle. We had a couple complaints on the comments, and one of them was like, "There's not enough blood," and I was like, "I hope this is sarcastic because I can't read your tone." You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you've got Michonne chopping a zombie's head off. You got Daryl shooting a crossbow through a zombie's head, and like the back glass is literally a bloody X across it. So I'm like, you've got to be joking me. But like, I don't know. Like, it's weird to me. We've got a remake game. Granted, I feel like the game wasn't in high demand. This is definitely a game that is geared more towards competition play, and it is a harder game to play, right? Like, is not a family friendly, is not a novice player friendly game. And so I want to know more about the gameplay, what they've done to make it a little more accessible. And I feel like we're blowing past all that for the artwork, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Okay. And do you also remember, anytime an art package comes out, it's amazing how strong people feel about it. And I think it's totally unfair. We know what the games are. Okay, the Spider-Man versus the Ultimate Spider-Man. Do you remember that thing where people are like,
Oh yeah.
why is there a big talking bubble on the back glass? I'm like, because it's a comic book edition. Like, so what?
Yeah.
And how often do you? Okay, I get that art. That's what we see first, right? That's the hook on the game. But how often do you actually look at the side of the game? The only game that I see the side of is Metallica, because
Yeah,
when I
because it's the
walk
first
down
one
my
you come in your
stairs,
basement. Yep.
that's my end game. Okay. Do you want to ask me how many times I've looked at the side of Beatles? Like,
How many times?
None.
None.
I mean, you slide it in. Yeah, it's the backglass. That's really what you see, or the translate, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Art it's one of those things where your favorite book, Josh, and then you hear they're going to make a movie of it. How many times do you love the movie version of the book?
It depends on the book.
Okay, but usually you're disappointed because
Scott Pilgrim versus the World was ripped off. It should have had more.
Geez.
It should have had more to the series than just the one movie.
It's totally true. I've never seen it. Okay, but it because in your mind you have already told the story, and so you've imagined this is what the character's supposed to look like. This is the way it's supposed to go. This is going to be the tone of that. And so when you read a book, your imagination is part of it. So if you even if you watch a show, you can say, "Oh, I wish they had done this. I wish they had done that." So having an adaptation of it, I think it's pretty hard to get something where you're like, "Oh, that is exactly what I was thinking."
Yeah.
There are some times when that does happen, when the secret sauce is in there. Like when you get something like Halloween. Halloween sold 1,250 off the art package alone. And by the way, go look at that art package. It's super vibrant. So, okay, so sometimes they hit that Venn diagram of your expectations versus the product, but a lot of times it's just what people think. And with The Walking Dead, you have the comic books, which are black and white. You have the series, which it kind of eventually petered out after it started off strong, was strong for a while, then kind of petered out. So people have their own version of what should be included. So I'm just going to let it lie. There are things that are packages where I wish it were different, but I appreciate that. Hey, that's what they want.
So I'm so over the art thing. Like I feel like it's just the weirdest catch-all for this
And
game.
it's unfair.
Like it is, and
I
I
think it's
agree with you.
unfair
Like,
and
so
mean. I think it's
here's
mean
the thing.
too.
I think so too. And here's the other thing too is, as I agree with you, like once you slide into a lineup, 9 times out of 10, you really don't notice the side art. Like you can kind of see Jaws behind me, but you can't really get a good idea of it. It's the goofiest thing because I feel like there's two distinctive type of pinball players, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the person that plays pinball for pinball. They want to know the rules. They want to know the technique. They want to know how to blow up the score. They want to know everything about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there is the other person is, and these kind of intermingle. It's not exclusive from each other, but the other one is a moments person, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the fine dining. It's the art has to match the feeling of the game, which has to match the sound of the game, which has to it has to have this perfect just from appetizer to dessert. Everything has to be on point. Everything's fantastic, right? And a lot of these people are people that are looking for specific themes tailored to their taste that feel like it does justice to that theme. I think the pinball player doesn't really care about they enjoy the theme. Like there's some of them that just won't, there's specific themes they just won't have in their house. But I think the moments person is looking for more of very specific themes to come into their collection because that's all they're looking for. They might not necessarily care about score. They might not care about how the game plays and the geometry and how it feels. They just want a good immersive game that does justice to the theme. I think overall that's kind of what everyone's looking for, but I think you're either one camp or the other, and there's a little meshing in the middle. But I think that's where The Walking Dead comes in, right? Like The Walking Dead isn't revered as a casuals game, and so it gets a lot of slack for the fact that like everything else has to be on point. And I just don't feel like Walking Dead has a major rabid fan base in the fact that like Kiss has a rabid fan base. Like they will buy almost anything. I mean, they got coffins for sale, right? Like they're obviously got a fan base that's going to buy anything. I feel like people love Walking Dead. They felt like it was a cultural touchstone, but they just don't tie into that theme into their life like they would maybe Kiss or something like that. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to Borg that he's gotten a lot of heat for this game when I think a lot of people have just looked at the art and passed on it. And granted, like I agree, like I'm not a fan of the greens and the blues in it, but it doesn't affect the rest of the game for me. But I enjoy playing the game because I love playing pinball to explore and dive deep into pinball and the rule set and stuff like that.
I'm looking forward to the rule set and seeing how it evolves, because what they did with Metallica was great. Like they took a rule set, and as we know, it was a Lyman rule set. Okay. What makes Walking Dead great? It's a hard layout, and it also has a Lyman rule set. And so it rewards the elite players. So the people who are really good and they want to sharpen their skills. And a complete rule set and an elevated rule set really will help that out. I'm really looking forward to what the rule set has, because they really haven't explained much about what the extra features are in this. So I'm looking forward to seeing who they actually have augment the rule set, what the actual result is. And then I want to talk to the elite players, not the Scott and Joshes out there. We're talking like the Tom Graffs. We're talking the Travis Murray. We're talking the Carl D'Angelos of the world.
Yeah.
And we want to see, and Joel.
Angel.
By the way, I'm wearing my triple drain t-shirt today. So shout out, guys. So I want to see what they think of it, because when you have an elite rule set already, I want to see how it is appreciated, especially by the elite players. Now, we know that Stern doesn't have to have a Godzilla every release. They just need to make a certain amount, and they're going to take risks on certain games. This could be one of those games where they thought, hey, we have a tournament game that is well respected. Let's see what we can do, because as we know, there are different consumers out there. And so having a game that is even, geared more toward the competitive scene, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I agree. And the other thing I find interesting about this, they only did 500 limited editions. As far as I'm aware, Stern hasn't even sold out from them to their distributors. So obviously there's still allotment there. So if you want one of these LEs, they're floating around.
Mm-hmm.
And they might be floating around for a minute or two. I still think Walking Dead is a great game. I would love to get some time in on this. I'm excited to play it. I don't have interest in owning it. Or moving something out. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the right circumstance, I would own it, but this isn't a day one new in box purchase for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm actually going to shock you. I'm actually kind of interested in it. I'm interested.
Of course you are.
I'm interested because as something that would help level up my pinball skills, having a game like this would be great in my lineup. And when I'm doing my expansion, I don't have room for it right now, but I am looking at expanding my game room, and I wouldn't mind sliding this thing in, because I think
I don't disagree with you.
it would be a really good game to elevate my skills. And you need a what are those knife sharpeners in your drawer? You need to be able to get better at pinball, and this is an excellent game to do that.
I think so too. All right, you might have convinced me. I don't know if I'm still buying new in box, but I might get one later.
Okay, let's find out.
Even if it's 2 weeks from now.
Let's find out when they announce the extra code stuff, because we still don't know. That's a black box.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the other reveal. You and I were we got in on this before a lot of people got to see it. It was really I feel very honored that we were trusted by Spooky Pinball to come in and work with them on doing day of release on this, and them sending us footage that we could use in our podcast. If you watched on our YouTube, you got to watch and check out the stuff we were talking about as we were talking about it. I gotta say, Beetlejuice is pretty fantastic. I am still concerned with. I've been playing pinball long enough to understand usually how a game's going to play. I'm intrigued. I don't know how this spooky's going to play. Most spookies usually play longer, and I feel like they're a little easier to the pinball player because they want for you to explore the game, right? With everything being pretty much 2/3 or forward towards the flippers, I feel like this is going to be a faster game outside of like maybe the couch, the waiting room area. So I'm really intrigued to see how this plays. What do you think, Scott?
You know what? It looks great, but Spooky definitely capitalizes on theme integration, and Spooky, they know who they are. They know who their audience is. They know who their fan base is, and I'm excited for this. There are going to be people who are like, why did they only do 999? Or, and I will argue that, remember, when you're selling a supply, Josh, if I have 1,000 that I'm trying to sell, how many do I want demand for?
999. Thanks, Josh Sharp.
Nope. You want 1,001.
Oh, you never mind. I see. Okay. You see what I was saying, though.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
You basically want one person out there who cannot get the product.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly where you want to be. So if for all the people out there, it's like they could have sold 10,000 Beetlejuice. No, they couldn't. No, they know who they are. They shot a little high on Halloween and Ultraman and all those things, and I think it hurt long term. So having like a limited run, striking while the iron's hot, and they definitely hit it with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They hit it with Evil Dead and Beetlejuice. They know what the audience is and what the market will demand for their game. So
I feel
this was perfect.
I feel like there's a little goldfish memory loss here, right? Like you talk about Halloween. So they did Halloween and Ultraman together, right? So it was 1,750 total.
Yep.
And there was issues there. There was a lot of quality issues. And Bug had stated that in our Beetlejuice episode.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they did talk about like protecting the market on the secondary value market and whatnot, which I guess you can kind of argue like Rick and Morty has retained its value for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
It's questionable. Like it's still around 10 grand. So it is what it is.
TNA. Yeah, it's still basically what it was.
Yeah. Yep. And then Evil Dead has skyrocketed, and that's been within the last year.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So since Halloween, they've cut back numbers. I feel like quality's gotten back under control. There are still issues here and there, but point me to the company that doesn't have any issues. This is the one thing that bothers me. Everyone harps on everyone harps on the like quality issue Achilles heel. And I get it. Like if it's consistently issue after issue after issue, there's a problem. But like when it's just something simple that it's unrelated and it's maybe a one-off thing or it's only happened to a handful of people, it bugs me because like Spooky has better control over it because it knows the people that work on their factory line and they can work with them and say, hey, this is how it needs to be. And it's similar in Stern's situation, but Stern's situation is there's a lot of people coming in and out on that factory line. So it's a new learning curve, right? And we've learned in pinball, if anything's even off like a 16th of an inch, it can affect the game itself. And so anywho, back to the point. So the quality control's getting better and under control. And what's upsetting me is we're seeing that. Sorry, I apologize. What upsets me is we're seeing that people are complaining about the limited number of runs with Beetlejuice, and they're like, they should have known to make more than 999 because it would have been a guaranteed sellout. Well, they didn't sell out on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They didn't sell out on Looney Tunes. They didn't sell out on Scooby-Doo. You can still get all those games through Spooky on their website today as it sits.
Yeah.
So how did they know that they didn't know Evil Dead was going to sell out, and it didn't sell out till Texas Pinball Festival. Right. That was 3 months after reveal.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Pinball Festival. Absolutely.
Yeah. So like the fact that everyone's like, well, they should have known better. And Bug said it in our episode, like, yeah, they want to protect the secondary market, but I'd rather be the quality control. I don't want to have issues with my game, right? Like, so here's I shared this comment with you this past week. We've gotten a ridiculous amount of comments on Spooky and how they handled Beetlejuice. You know what? I think you guys handled Beetlejuice just fine. You're a small company. I don't know what you could have done different outside of maybe tell your distributor not to say you can buy it now when they hadn't even done a teaser trailer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that's the only thing out of it. Like you work with your distributor to not like it's spring a leak or whatever.
Okay, but it's been about as good of a release as you could expect for Spooky. Like Spooky is ecstatic with this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I don't blame them. And it's awesome looks for them. Okay. It's guaranteed work for the next year, and it keeps their people fed. And like they can now focus on the next game. Like they can still focus on Beetlejuice, Stress Fury, and focus on the next game, not worrying about the next year. It's amazing. It's brilliant, in my opinion.
I
So
saw.
let me read this comment to you.
Okay,
This
go
is
ahead.
what I
Go ahead.
sent
Sorry.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Loser Kid Pinball. The number of games made should not affect their quality control. It should be a set standard that they meet regardless of scale. Limiting Beetlejuice to such a low number to me reads like an excuse not to be overwhelmed with orders for machines. This is where they suffer from being a small company. I do understand that. I love what they're doing, but I will most likely never own any of those games with those limited numbers. Well, guess what? You can still buy Scooby-Doo. You can still buy Texas Chainsaw Master. You could still buy Looney Tunes. These are all limited number games.
Mm-hmm.
You could own one today, my good sir or ma'am. Why aren't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get this argument. And I think it's very ridiculous that you say the number of games should not affect your quality control. They make games once a year. They make the same game for a full year. Whether they make 999 or 10,000, it shouldn't affect their quality control. Excuse me.
It absolutely does. And anybody knows scalability is the hardest thing in manufacturing. Yeah. And as we know, back in the Williams days, like they still needed to keep the line moving. They didn't keep. Yeah, there were some outliers. Twilight Zone, Addams Family, but for the most part, they wanted to stay relevant, and so they kept announcing new things so they could. Yeah. So, I would actually argue that Guns N' Roses may have hurt JJP a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they produced that for so long, there was nothing new coming out for a while. And I think they kind of fell out of what else are they doing? Oh, it's that game they already have. So having this model where they just have a new game every year is actually really good for a small company.
No, I agree. So I think Spooky's killing it. Outside of like some people didn't get a Beetlejuice. I'm sorry, that stinks for you guys. Like you knew this was coming. Like this, we talked about Beetlejuice 3 months ago. I want people to understand that. The thumbnail is Beetlejuice versus Star Wars. This is before Star Wars announced and Beetlejuice was announced. Did you know Zach Mini takes interested lists for titles?
Just in case you're like, hey, I may have I have a like Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I may be interested in that theme if it ever comes out. So why don't you put your name on a list?
This is how good this is customer service at its best. Right. Let me tell you this. When Ryan White still worked for CGC and he announced that they were coming out with Medieval Madness in 2023, and they said it'd be at the end of the year. He announced at the beginning of 2023. And then finally it rolls around to this year and Medieval Madness starts getting announced this year. Zach hit me up. I forgot I was on the list. And he said, hey, Josh, I just want to follow up, make sure I'm not glossing over you. Do you still want Medieval Madness now that they've announced it? Excuse me? I think I was like fourth on the list because I was like one of the first ones. Yeah. If you knew Beetlejuice was coming 6 months ago, you should have got on the list. Right. And like, that's the thing too.
Right. Yeah. It just, again, like I got the call. I was sitting in the hot tub. I got the call. Zach's like, hey, do you want one? And I said, yeah, because I'm probably going to put it in my place in St. George. And then I texted back, hey, my buddy also wants one. Can you get one? And he's like, let me see. I may be out. And we were like one of the last ones, like, okay, I got you two. So I got one. My buddy got one for each location. We paid for them, but absolutely. So
I'd be upset if you didn't pay for them. Where's my deal? I want free Medieval Madness. Zach, hook me up.
You got a fun house behind you. Okay.
What are you talking about? That was not free. I paid for that.
Okay. All right.
Don't you be misleading our people listening to here. That's the last thing I need on my comments.
Right.
Yeah. That was paid for.
Okay.
Golly.
Okay. All right.
Oh, anywho. Okay. I want to get to our next segment. I think this has been a really great discussion. I think to wrap it up, I think both Walking Dead, Beetlejuice, both you and I agree, have been shortchanged in very weird ways. But I think Walking Dead needs to be given a chance. And I think Beetlejuice needs the heat taken off of like, guys, it looks like a great game. No one's played it yet. Let's let the room breathe for a second. I'm assuming the first time you'll be able to play these at a public convention is going to be probably TPF. Get out there and play them. Oh, that's the other thing. So shh. Can I let you guys, everyone listening to Loser Kid, I'm going to let you in on a secret. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
They're all sold out except for, did you know Spooky makes extra games for shows? So if you really, really want a Beetlejuice, like I've got to have a Beetlejuice, go to Texas Pinball Festival, figure out where Spooky's going to be. They usually have extra games there that are not sold to the general public. These are show games. I know it's kind of weird. I know that we say there's 999, but they are actually extra games. And I could be corrected, but that is how I understand. Because obviously they're all bought and sold, So why would they?
Because they don't want to take them home.
Well, not only that, you volunteered. Hey, I know your game's coming in a week, but we have Texas Pinball Festival. Do you mind if we take it and people jam on it for like a full weekend and then we ship it to you? Yeah, Spooky don't do that. So
that's not it.
So yeah, get your tickets to Texas Pinball Festival. I don't know if they'll be at Pinball at the Beach. I don't know where they'll be at. But if you want a Beetlejuice, you might want to get your ticket to one of those, drive your car down there and show up first thing Thursday morning, whenever they open. Maybe you can try to get them before they open. Say, hey, I want to go check this out and I want to put my name on it if this is what I want. You know what I'm saying?
So, hey, you would know. So if that is the case, you can always message Bug and see what's going on.
Yep. And maybe So, and I'm going to get a message from Spooky. I'm going to have to redact all that. So,
we'll see.
Alrighty. Let's move on to, it's been a fantastic year, 2025. I know it's not done. We're at the end of November. We still have a month to go. As I foresee it, I could be wrong. This would not be the first time that I'm wrong. I'll eat crow. As I foresee it, all the games have been released for 2025. I don't foresee anything in December. Best case scenario is a teaser trailer. Worst case scenario, nothing.
Announced, not released. There's no way any games are going to get released. No.
So Scott and I have put our lists down, and we are going to talk about the top 5 pinball machines of 2025. You ready for this?
Okay, Josh, do you want to recap for the listening audience so they know exactly, and so they can start making their list for themselves?
Yes. So anything produced in 2025, anything produced and shipped in 2025. So honorable mention will be Beetlejuice because it was shown this year. It will not ship till 2026. So
has Walking Dead shipped yet?
Walking Dead has shipped, and it has been at conventions. So Walking Dead is actually out the door. So we're going in chronological order. I do apologize if we missed anything, but we went through this. Evil Dead, Dungeons and Dragons, Portal, Merlin's Arcade, Dune, King Kong, Medieval Madness Merlin Edition, Harry Potter, Predator, Jaws 50th, Star Wars Fall of the Empire, and Winchester. So that hits everything that has been released and shipped this year or is shipping. I think we're kind of going by the TWIPY standards, right? The one machine has left their door to go out to rotation.
You did say Dune, right?
I did say Dune.
Okay,
I said Dune in between King Kong and Portal, I want to say.
Okay, all right.
Oh, Merlin's Arcade and King Kong. So that is the list. Did you count how many games? There's got to be like 12.
No, it's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey, look at that. I know. So enthralling here. We're so professional. So
I count them on all my 12 fingers.
We've distilled it down to 5 games for the whole year. We're going to go from 5 to 1, starting with number 5. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to give my number 5?
You know what? I want you to get your number 5 because I forgot what my number 5 was.
My number 5 is Spooky's Evil Dead. I think this game was one of those games I was not expecting to enjoy. It was just another theme that I think was a cult classic, a cult following. So I was like, well, it is what it is. And it came out and I was like, dang, this is really good. This looks really, really good. I got to play one of these. And we finally got our hands on one at Expo, and I enjoyed it. It played really well. I thought the geometry was good. I'd give it probably about a 8 out of 10. There was a couple spots I felt where, like, I don't get the whole flipper inside the sling thing, so that does dock it a little bit for me. But other than that, man, this game is awesome. This game is awesome for the fact of the theme immersion. They took a theme and they drew you into that world. They didn't pull Evil Dead into Spooky's world. Spooky got pulled into Evil Dead world just like they did with the Book of the Dead, right? Like they just, this game is so cool. And the fact that it's retained its value and actually went up in value over the year is insane to me. But it's so cool to see that Spooky is just getting better and better with releases, and they are taking what they know and refining it and distilling it down and putting it into their games as they move forward. So for number 5, I present to you Evil Dead. What do you got, Scott?
I'm mixing it up a little bit.
Oh.
And I am going to say this understanding that there are going to be people who disagree with me. Okay.
Well, this isn't gospel. This isn't a gospel list. It's all subjective. It's me and you.
Okay. I'm going to put King Kong at 5.
Oh, wow. Why so low?
Okay. So this is the problem of other people really stepping up this year. And I love Elwyn games. I am a huge fan of Keith Elwyn. I would say hands down most bankable designer out there right now. Okay. And this is a great game. And I love it. I want it. I will buy it when I have the space. I will also say that there are so many excellent games that he has that I'm okay waiting a little bit on this one. And so if I'm going to say, hey, I love this game, and I do, there are other Elwyn games that I think are so good and I can still scratch that itch. Yeah. And I have, this is no criticism on Elwyn at all or King Kong, because I truly love this game. It is actually it is a recognition that other manufacturers have really stepped up this year.
Yes.
And so this is suffering under the weight of consistent expectations. And so I love King Kong. I'm still going to put it at number 5 because there's a few games on here that give me a different vibe and I'm interested in. And I think that it's the flavor that they brought this year.
Okay. No, that's reasonable to me. I think that's very reasonable. Let's have you go next. You do your number 4.
Okay. Number 4, Portal. I'm putting Portal as number 4. This is the first P3 game that legit could have felt like a standalone game. Like, and I like the P3 options of saying, hey, buying this, and now you can slide in different things. This is the first one when I played where it felt like it didn't feel like a cartridge in the back of the machine, which, by the way, is not a knock on it. It is a different vibe. Like I love what they're trying to do, is saying, hey, we have a lot of options back there. And if you look at it, it is a huge bang for the buck because you can get Portal and you can buy the extended kit, and it was really close to a full pinball machine. You can get Princess Bride in there for cheap. You can get Weird Al in there for cheap. You can get I'm sorry, the Scott Denisi one in there for
Final Resistance.
Yes, that one. And so there are so many options that you can get. This is the perfect gateway into P3. And even if you're like, I don't have the money to buy all of the game modules, you will be satisfied with Portal. And my own son said, Dad, this is a great game. We should buy it. And if you can impress a 15-year-old, that's a high mark. Okay.
Yep.
So, and again, this is me saying that P3 has really stepped up, and this is the most impressive release that they've had so far.
Yep, I agree. All right, my number 4. I'm really wrestling with myself, but I really think this is number 4 for me. Harry Potter. This game is amazing. When we played at Expo, it had that one more feel to it. It was fast. It was good. Like, it was a really fun game. for me, why it reaches into number 4, compared to everything else, I'm going based solely off if I slide it in my connection or into my collection, and this is where it is at the list. There are other games that have come out this year. I think you've alluded to it, Scott. Like, there's just been such an insane year for pinball. And I feel like Harry Potter any other year would have just dominated. But I don't know, man. Like, I want this game. Like, I don't know what to do. There's so, like, from here up, I want all these games. And so I'm just like, I don't know. But with Harry Potter, it was a really great game. I think the artwork was fine. I don't get the whole AI stuff. Like, I get, like, the Derpy Dragon was back. I will not give that a pass. Like, that was rough. But other than that, like, this game has really stood up against the other Jersey Jack games. And I felt like Elton John was the turn of it. And now we're starting to see, like, this, like, it's like the secret sauce, right? Like, people are starting to figure out this dynamic layout. The fact that, like, you want mechs that change the direction of the ball and stuff like that. And Harry Potter gives you all that. And even, like, the Quidditch field's really, really cool. Just a simple upper play field that's slightly, it's repeatable, whatnot. I don't know, man. Like, it's a great game. I need more time on it to tell you where it falls short, because I've only played a handful of games. But for me, number 4 is Harry Potter. And since I made you go back to back, I will go back to back. My next one, your number 4 is my number 3, Portal.
Okay.
Portal, I was more than impressed with at Pinball Expo. The insanely cool ball launching mechs, the different portals to different areas, the companion cube, how it's portaling from side to side, just the immersion to this game. And it fits so perfectly on a P3. Like, the technology, it's like this game was meant to be on P3. I don't think, like, any other company could have done justice to like P3 and Multimorphic did. And it's one of those games that I need to sell something to get it. And so, like, I'm debating, because my collection's pretty packed at the moment, but I get it's a P3, like, it's not a space thing. Anyhow, yeah.
Okay, but it's still a money thing. I mean, come on.
It's a money thing. Yeah.
This isn't these things cost money, so it's you still have to budget for it. And so I totally understand it. It is less of a space issue, but yes, you still
I
have
went with my P3 for the fact the rumor of Portal was coming, and I wanted to be prepared for it. And so I wanted to get more time on a P3 for our listener, because there's actually a lot of questions about P3s. And so I wanted to learn more about it, because there's not even one in the state of Utah outside of what I have that I know of. And so, but overall, Portal, like, it's coming into my house at one point in time or other. It's like guaranteed set. So, okay, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Winchester. Winchester definitely came out of the blue. We heard that there was something new coming from a high level player, and we didn't know anything about it. And then we're like, oh, it's Winchester. And I'm like, okay, in Winchester. And I was like, okay, what is that? And they tell the theme. I'm like, okay. I remember hearing something about a spooky haunted house. The lady felt like she had to keep building or confuse the ghost. Or I still don't totally understand the story. But I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then when I went to play it, if Carl D'Angelo is not an elite pinball designer within the next 5 years, I will quit Loser Kid and definitely retire from pinball forever, because Carl understands pinball way more than 99.9% of people out there. He understands the what makes games flow, what makes them fun, and he also understands rule sets. If you want to learn how to play a game, the first thing you do is Google tutorial, and if you find a Carl D'Angelo tutorial, that's a pretty solid one to look at.
Yeah.
The game is awesome. And
Yep.
I only ranked it as number 3 because I'm super disappointed that there's not going to be there's not going to be a standard version that I can buy because the limited edition sold out. So just the way that Winchester played and everything was so good about that. I also 100% believe that this surprised Barrels of Fun because Barrels of Fun, they had no idea they had a walk-off grand slam in their hands because they didn't know. This is his first game.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, they have like 3 different elements. You have a theme, you have a limited quantity, you have a new designer. Hopefully some of those will resonate with buyers. And when people went and played it, they're like, dang, this is a really good game. So I didn't even play it until it was already sold out. That's how quickly it went. So I love everything about this, and I really probably will just pay a premium for a few thousand more than sticker price, and I will probably have this in my house.
Yeah. Yeah. So my number 2, that was your number 2, right?
That was my number 3.
No, that was number 3. Okay. So that's your number 3.
So have you done number 3 yet? You did number 3.
Yeah, but I did Portal.
Okay. So let's alternate now.
Okay. So you give me your number 2.
No,
I think Winchester. You want me to do? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll do my number 2. Number 2. Okay. Number 2 for me is King Kong. I have a pro behind me. This game, the ball paths on it are insane. Like the code is still maturing, right? Like it's been out since May.
Yeah.
The thing about Ellen that I appreciate is I feel like his code out of the gate 9 times out of 10 is pretty well fleshed out for a novice player. So it gives me a good idea of the direction it's heading. And I can usually get to the wizard mode at L1's early code, or not wizard mode. I can get to the end-ish. But with this game, man, I know I went with a pro because I felt like the King Kong mech really didn't do much. Like it was like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very cool. It doesn't interact with the ball in a way that I felt was meaningful. That's just me. That's my personal preference. And the subway was cool, but it's just a ball lock. And so like ball locks can be cool. I just didn't feel like it justified upgrading from a pro to premium, right? You see all those drop targets with the cool Gary Stern golden idol hidden behind them with that little upper flipper, plus the river that comes down. This is a game I turn on my collection and I just play just day after day. When I'm in a pinball mood, I come to King Kong first. It is so unique. I don't think I have played a game, any other pinball game like King Kong. And that's what kind of frustrates me is people dog on it. And I just don't get where the hate's coming from. I get if you feel like mechanically it's not as sound as other Keith Elwin games. But I feel like a lot of the fixes, like the vertical up kicker, it's an angle bracket you can buy for like $2 off of Amazon. The pro to me, I feel like it's very, very solid, and I haven't had any issues with it. And man, it is just such a good game. I am not sorry I traded my Foo Fighters Pro to get my King Kong Pro. And if you haven't played one, what are you doing? Get out there and try it. So what's your number 2, Scott?
So my number 2 is Dune. Like Barrels of Fun have figured out how to take the secret sauce that Eric did with Guns N' Roses and to sprinkle it into Dune to have a complete thematic immersion. Because this game, from the plunge, it has a continuous soundtrack going on it. It has the light show. It has all the molds in it that make the paths. And I thought the paths were awesome. I thought they were fun. They were innovative, and I loved I still haven't seen Dune, but when you have like the sandworm that you're trying to like it has that little mechanism that's banging up and down to summon the sandworm. Okay, that feels awesome because your hands are on the machine and you're feeling the vibration of the speaker, and you're feeling the pounding. You're seeing um, the total projection in the back. It's the LCD in the back panel, and it is just so good that, okay, what makes a great pinball machine? They don't all have to be like Godzilla level like shooters. They don't. They have to be fun. And this was fun, challenging. It had easy shots. It had hard shots. It had that awesome sandworm that telescopes up and eats the ball. And it is so good. And Dune, I really hope they continue making this because it is such a great game. I definitely want it. I just don't have space right now. But I love the game. And there's a reason why Joel's wife played it and said, "This is a cool game."
Yeah.
Like she nailed it. She's like, "You want to be in this environment." And then you have the pain box thing. I mean, come on. Like it's so good that I really want this game.
Yeah, it really is. It's something special. And I remember being at Expo when they revealed Labyrinth, and I was like, this is really cool. I'm not a huge Labyrinth fan, but like what they're doing is very intriguing. And then when Dune came out, I was like, this isn't just like a fluke thing. This is legit. And then when you and I played it at Expo, I was like, dang, this is awesome. Like this is like validity to me that they are more than a legit company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they are taking it to the next level. And yeah, so that's your number 2, right?
That's my number 2.
All right, so that we're down to our number 1s. Do you want to do honorable mentions before we reveal our number 1s?
Yes.
So my honorable mention is going to be Dune. It did not make my top 5 list. I know some people are booing. I agree with you, Scott. Like everything you said, I agree. I felt like there were 5 other games before it that I would prefer to have in my collection. I don't know. Honestly, it's a fight for 5th between Evil Dead and Dune. I really, really enjoyed Dune. Like it was a really good game. But I've already made my bed, so I'm gonna lay in it. So Dune remains on my honorable mentions. How about you?
And well, okay, Evil Dead was my honorable mention, and it suffers a little bit just because of the niche attitude. Like you can't. For me to have like a top 5 appeal, it really has to be like hey, this can go anywhere to anybody at any time. And there's definitely a focused group for Evil Dead. Now, again, that group loved it and bought it, and it is perfect that way. But it's there were 5 that I would rank higher on my own ability list.
Yeah.
So that's really when I'm thinking of a top 5, I'm thinking of top 5 games I would have in my collection.
Yeah, same here. So
that is nothing about spooky and that, because it's a great game. We really had an embarrassment of riches this year.
Yep, we really did. Like 2025 was a rough year for competition. It was all solid, right? Like it was rough in the fact that like for your wallet,
yeah,
it took a pounding.
Yeah,
or you just had to
my
say
house,
no.
my space. Yep. I don't have space.
Yeah, I could have easily doubled my collection this year. Easily. Yeah. And I don't feel that about I don't know if I felt about that for pinball for a while now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Last year there was Jaws, and there was which I obviously got. And then there was Metallica, which you got. Evil Dead was awesome, but that didn't reveal to the end of the year. I'm trying to think. Labyrinth wasn't my cup of tea, so it wasn't.
Okay, again, Labyrinth suffers from not.
And
a
that was
theme
from
that
2023.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think like last year. Like I wasn't a fan of X-Men. Like I don't know. We can get to that later. Okay, we're doing our top ones.
Okay.
All right, Scott, give us the honors of your number 1. Let's see. Let's hear this.
Number 1, no question, hands down, Harry Potter.
I knew it. It.
It is so good, Josh. I the way that Eric designed this game, it is so great. It flows so good. It has possibly one of the best upper playfields ever invented, because your Quidditch battle, you not only have an upper loop that you can repeat, but it also has a wire form that you can shoot, and it has a 180. It is super challenging. But it is achievable, which is, there's a lot of games where it's like, it's kind of like that side, that stupid flipper in Led Zeppelin, like the only person that can shoot that side shot is Joel. But it has so much in there. It is so packed. The staircase mechanism, the diverter that causes so many different options there. It is a baptism into the Harry Potter world. And given there are 8 films and 7 books, the way that you are just liquid poured into this game is unbelievable. The art, by the way, is awesome. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, you can talk about the, distractible things such as, oh, they may have used AR. Okay, whatever. It looks so good in person, you would never know any of this stuff. And the collector's edition looks so good with Marilena. I know I'm not saying that right.
Mima Lima. Yeah, Mima Lima.
Mima Lima, yeah. And it's basically the art that feels like you're reading the book. And then you have the Wizard edition that has like all of the movie assets, and it looks so great on the side. And then you also have the option of getting an arcade edition. Yes, okay, I get it. It's $10,000 or $99,999. But this is something that will make money. I guarantee if Harry Potter were downstairs in my collection, that is 100% the first game anybody will go to, hands down, because it is so good. And so, Eric, 100%, I bow to you. You totally nailed this one. And yeah, 100% best game of the year.
It is a pretty wonderful. That's why I had a really hard time with this list, because it's, yeah. Okay. My number 1. What do we have? We have 12 games.
Okay, you're slow rolling it. I already know what it is. I already know.
I want to see. Oh, you just guess it. Let's see you guess it.
You're going to say Winchester.
It's Winchester. And I'm going to tell you why.
Boom.
Yep. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Winchester, it's not the fact that I get shocked. It's not like this drop. I like spooky things. I'm not a fan of the Winchester house. It's not like I have Winchester merchandise. Here's the thing.
You have that tattoo.
I do have that tattoo of the ghost on my butt. Yes, that is true. So, here's the thing about Winchester. When I played it at Expo, it plays so smooth. And this is one thing we talked about with Carl D'Angelo on the podcast when we had him on. It's that years of tweaking games, fixing games, just knowing where the geometry is at. I feel like between the Pepper's Ghost, between that crazy cool spinning wheel, the turntable with the different paths and how quickly it reacts to where it needs to be, the ramps themselves, it's a hard playing game. Like it's a tougher playing game. I didn't feel like it was like really hard. The fact that like you can like go to different rooms and keys, and like you can explore the game, or you can kind of shortcut to certain areas, but you're still exploring the game. Like if you just want to enjoy the game for what it is, you can. This game hits on so many different levels. I feel bad for the other companies, because I feel like Carl D'Angelo said, this is what pinball should be. This is pinball. And I totally agree. And I know, Scott, you consider yourself a lower tier player. I would consider myself on the upper side. I'm not top 1,000 or top 100. I think if I really had the time and the means and whatnot, and I really wanted to dedicate my life to competition pinball, I feel like I could be in the top 1,000. Another reason, like I say this too, is like if you have Insider Connected, go look at your high scores, and it will compare you to other people on Insider Connected to their high scores. Every game I played, except for like 3, I'm in the top 1%. So I feel like coming from a person that understands the geometry of pinball and how a game feels, Winchester just feels so good. The sound from Jeff Dodson at Dirty Pool Pinball just hits on so many levels. It's so good. The artwork, Brad Albright tied this all together. This game, in my opinion, is the perfect package for this year. And it scores high on my list. And the only thing I'm upset about with this game is I asked Zach, do you have Winchester? And he said, yes. And I said, I'm going to Expo. I asked him on Monday, what day, whatever revealed. I'm going to Expo on Wednesday. It should be set up Thursday. I'm going to play it and I'll get back to you. I missed out because I had to play the game first, which I don't think there's anything wrong with. No one expected for this to sell out. I agree with you. Like, it's one of those games I'm going to set and see how it does. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not to the point where I'm about to sell 2 games or whatever it is to move one Winchester in my collection. Cause let's be realistic. It's 11.6 and we don't know what the used market's going to do on it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But this game is just so good. And it's when something, it's a perfect storm in my opinion. And it just makes me excited even more for Barrels of Fun moving forward in the future and seeing now that they have Carl D'Angelo, like it's literally the clash of the Titans in my opinion between D'Angelo and Elwin. And the nice part about Elwin is at least all of his games will be available and I don't have to stress because a pro is almost half of what a Winchester is, right? So moving forward, I guess that's just one thing I got to keep an eye on. But for me, winner of 2025, Winchester without a doubt. So
yeah.
If you guys agree, let us know. If you disagree, let us in the comments, all that stuff.
Okay, so I'll recap my top 5. So Harry Potter, number 1.
Yep.
Dune, number 2. Winchester, number 3. Portal, number 4. Kong, number 5. Okay. By the way, which one of those games would you not want to own?
Yeah. All of them.
All
you know what I'm saying?
of them. You would want to own all of them. When's the last time we had a year? And by the way, I would put Evil Dead, my honorable mention, just because like if you're looking at the aggregate market out there, that you would definitely put that in there. And so, okay, so all major companies have made a showing. And okay, I'm not going to throw the Merlin edition or the Chicago Gaming on that. All the major companies have had a major show this year. And I will even add, I did get, so I got the upgrade kit for Cactus Canyon. So even like Chicago Gaming is making some big strides. And by the way, opening that kit, it looks amazing. I'm going to be installing it this week. But okay, when is the last time that we have had 5 or 6 major companies have a big hit in 1 year?
Yeah. I can't remember. I really can't.
It's been at least 30 years. I mean,
it's
come
been
on.
1 week. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so Josh, recap your top 5.
My top 5: number 1, Winchester; number 2, King Kong; number 3, Portal; number 4, Harry Potter; and number 5, Evil Dead. And I feel like the list itself, and 5, Evil Dead / Dune. I feel like the list is very like I could be persuaded one way or the other.
Okay, we have the same 6, but if you noticed, we prioritize them differently.
Yeah.
But all of those games are great games.
Yep.
So that gives you options. It's not like the year where it's like, well, there's only one game that you can really put in there. So
yeah,
how lucky are we this year?
Like I said, I can't remember. We've been doing this podcast coming up on 7 years here in January. And all the years that we've been doing this, I don't remember a year where it's been like, holy crap, I've got to own all these games from all these companies. I want to play them, but I just haven't been like, I've got to own these games. And I seriously am like, how am I going to get these 4 games? My personal, these 5 games. I actually, because of my life situation right now, I actually think I would bump Evil Dead down to 6 and do it up to 5 because of my family situation.
I would say your ranking is correct. Now, there's a big difference between a ranking list and a personal purchase list.
Yeah,
there is. So Evil Dead's still on your top 5.
I would say 2021 was the last year that was, Cactus Canyon Remake, Godzilla, Rush, which I don't have much heartburn over not owning, but you love that, so that's why I'm throwing that in here. Weird Al, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
Toy Story, you can argue on it whether you like it or not. I thought it was a great thing for my family.
I think it's fun enough.
And that's the other Spooky also did Total Nuclear Annihilation, brought back for a second round.
Okay.
That was a pretty good year.
Yeah.
So 2021, I will give that year. And that's stretching it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like it's 5.
It's not the same as this year.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Having Barrels of Fun in there, and they had 2 games in my top 5.
Yeah.
They had 2 and 3. I mean, come on.
They're a big player. Like they're coming to play.
Yeah.
I don't think they're afraid of. I'm interested to see what they do with quantity numbers moving forward.
Right.
So, that pretty much wraps it up for the episode. We do have a couple notes here at the end that we just want to hit really, really quick. We do have a new shirt on silverballswag.com. It is similar to, did Stern steal our idea? We have the loser kit that's kind of similar to this flag. So go check it out.
I will give some shout outs. I don't want this person to be flooded with requests, but just so you know, I got some banners. I got a Metallica banner, and I actually bought the old school Metallica banner. So if you're watching, you can see both of them. And my Secret Santa also got this awesome ball lock, which is from CSI. So I'm holding up a skull. So this is great. Thank you so much. You know who you are. I don't want you getting flooded with a lot of requests, but your generous help is greatly appreciating the visual content of this show. We're starting to rotate some banners behind me, and I think Josh may be considering doing something like that, but it's just a nice way of getting people to see some of the things we're talking about.
Yep. If we've been talking about Portal, we talked about how amazing Portal is. Princess Bride, I love Princess Bride. I'm enjoying my Weird Al. My kids like Weird Al more. I like Princess Bride more. It's a fight. It is what it is. $1,000 off. That is because I got a P3. It's part of the referral program. So if you don't know anyone that owns a P3, but you still want that $1,000 off, email us here at loserkidpinballpodcast@gmail.com. We will get you in touch with Jerry and Sarah, and we will get that $1,000 off of that new Portal game or Princess Bride or Final Resistance, whatever it may be. There are little terms and conditions. We can talk about that if you email us. Do that. Or if you're looking for a fun house, doesn't matter if it's the standard edition or if it is the LE, we can get you $500 off there as well. Please email us at loserkidpinballpodcast@gmail.com. Other than that, if you want to get a hold of us, all the socials at loserkidpinballpodcast gmail.com, at loserkidpinball at Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz. So
we appreciate all the Patreon support because it does help buy these little things that make it fun for you to watch and listen to. And so we really appreciate everybody who has signed up, and we want to wish everybody a Merry Thanksgiving and a Merry Holidays for whatever your holiday plans are. We have a year-end wrap-up show coming up, and we do have a special guest planned, so we're excited on that.
Okay, let's
give us the last word.
Give you the last word. Play pinball and happy holidays, everyone.